I'm liking this channel a lot. I'm not gonna lie. The OGs feel like they're here. Feels like we're really gonna get down to brass tacks. And the brass tacks of today, first off, if you guys didn't see, tucked in like an absolute gentleman. I don't care what channel we're on. This is where we live. But this is the biggest problem I see amongst first-time business owners and people that want to be entrepreneurs. I really hate that word. Basically, you just want to run a business. That's yours, right? Even if it requires extra words, who gives a shit? But this required a coffee talk for obvious reasons, because we're gonna break down some real shit here. What I see so often amongst first-time entrepreneur, business owners, anyone that has aspirations of having their own thing, is that they solve problems before they happen. I'm not kidding. I know people that have been doing this for 10, 20 years that have been in business doing this, where they foresee a problem that has not occurred and they're trying to solve for that problem that has not happened. And the reason why entrepreneurs do this, or business owners, however you like to word it, we're just gonna use entrepreneurs. Screw it, we're here. It's a business channel. Even though I'm the soulful combatant to the online guru types, you know, we can use the same words. We don't have to wage war on the words, but I will be waging war on the lack of soul. But what you're doing is subconsciously you're telling yourself, I don't have confidence in myself to handle problems as they arise. And this forces you to not be where your feet are at. If you're solving for problems that have not happened, you are by proxy not living in the present. And the best way, and everyone knows this, when you're a business owner, the number one thing is looking at things objectively. This is why they say you gotta remove your emotions out of it. I disagree, I wear my heart on my sleeve. But the emotion of it isn't blinders, isn't telling yourself make-believe things because the emotion of it is just too hard to handle, or the reality of the situation is just so damn difficult for me to handle. Not how that works. You have to look at everything for its raw truth, because the more accurate depiction you have on the field, on the chessboard itself, the better decisions you can make to then execute on. But if your read and court vision of what's happening is incorrect, then you're going to be making the wrong decisions because you're basing them on something that's not reality. You have to be where your feet are at. I take everything. I'm not joking at this point, probably hour by hour. People ask me, what's your plan? What do you do? How do you come up? I simply live in the present. And that means listening a lot. That means being involved, trying my absolute best at every single stage. A lot of business owners, they try to formulate these plans up in their brains. What is business? What is money? Like, business is money in the door, right? People like to word it this way. But what is money? It's a value of exchange. The only way that value is dictated is basically what people believe is valuable to them. That's the reason why things like gold, for example, the reason why gold is valuable at the end of the day is because everyone says it's valuable and everyone thinks it's valuable. So it makes it valuable. Point of me saying this is that the market, the people, dictate what's valuable. And the only way for you to figure out what's valuable to whether it's your people on your page, whether it's just in general business that you have, is by listening, by conversing and listening, asking questions to then drive insight that is an objective reality. And then from there, there's going to be problems that arise when you go to instill those things. And then you fix those problems as they arise. You don't fix problems prior to them happening. It's like people anticipating these things that don't end up ever happening, by the way. That's the funniest part. And even if it's the problem that you predicted, it won't happen the way you want it to or the way you thought of it. And context is everything. I mean this when I say it. This is actually by far the greatest way of operating in business. Whether you're a business operator, you're a leader, I'm a visionary, doesn't matter. Your vision needs to meet where your feet are at. What is currently happening right now? And then you make those decisions, or you set that strategy, that game plan to flourish in that way. It's exactly with what I'm building at Crusadia. I'm not joking. Everyone knows this. When they came in, my pitch was, I'm going to create a digital country. You guys are going to build the country with me. And all I did was realize, what does a country need above all else? Culture. So my job is to instill culture. Culture amongst the people, our camaraderie, how people trust one another, making sure that there's no bad actors in there looking to take advantage of an opportunity in other people. My job to protect, because they're coming into my ecosystem, so therefore I have to make the ecosystem a place where they can fully trust it. We've managed to do that in a month and a half. And then I realized, when in terms of, we're on Heartbeat, and I'm going to tell a fun story about that, creating a software that we're going to absolutely mog them with, because their shit is just ass and their developers take 3 months to instill something that takes 3 hours. Not a joke. Talking about direct reply functions for messages. Are you kidding me? Anyways, as a result of me realizing that Heartbeat isn't going to be it, I didn't try to formulate, oh, I'm going to create my own custom app. I am now creating my own custom software, because now at this point, those limitations are going to limit how much community and how much culture we can actually build. Now, everything I'm thinking about is enhancing that deliverability of feeling. And then when you have a country, then you have to have economy, which is why in my head I'm thinking about, well, obviously stage one is getting to the best shape of your life, because mainly, if you guys know this, if you're in business, energy is the ultimate currency. And number two, being mentally resilient. That's what the gym teaches you. Training in generally just calluses those soft spots of your mind. That way you spring right into action for things in business that feel the same exact way, fire off the same exact way, right? So we have the 100-day crusade locked in, because I know that's why most people were in. They're like, I'm really interested in the fitness stuff, but I'm also interested in the things beyond. But I am interested in getting my fitness right. So I created this thing called the 100-Day Crusade, which is essentially was my coaching program that I ran prior that was extremely successful, to a point where people left and it was legitimately a sad experience of leaving. As a result of me answering every single DM, every single comment, listening to every single person, instilling coaching when people asked me that they wanted coaching, selling programs when people are like, I need a program for this. Having all this stuff, now I'm able to take those things and apply it into the country to help facilitate everyone becoming much more healthy. My point is I wasn't orchestrating these things. I was trying to orchestrate these things up in my head. I just took what has already been proven to work and what people were asking for. Nor did I force it down their throats. They asked me, this is what I'm looking for. I want a little bit more guidance on these areas, and I just kept giving them, and things that I already had and built leverage on, I just gave it to them in a way that I know they'd receive correctly, and it was a very easy way for them to actually take it, hold themselves accountable, having a daily rent chat. That way everyone else sees the energy, and it makes it that much easier to get into a workout. I'm solving these problems as they're happening. I'm not trying to foresee these issues, be like, okay, they're gonna be here for fitness and X, Y, and Z. Or they're also gonna be here for business. So let me figure out all these problems before it's happened. No, because the way you have to integrate it is dependent on the people. I'm telling you right now, when you have your boots on the ground and you are completely present and you're just involving yourself at every single step, not taking shortcuts, that's when you learn to implement certain systems that then enhance the mission, that help you actually reach the mission that you're going for. People are out here optimizing for profit. Go for it if that's you. But when you see the bigger picture of just solving problems and actually being of value to where it's like, honestly, without this, I don't know what I would do. By proxy, money comes as a side effect. Now this is enhancing my soul as who I am as an individual. This is allowing me to actually walk into the person I'm meant to be. Dynamic. I solve problems as they arise because I have trust in myself that I will figure it out once it becomes a problem to solve. And there's some problems that don't need to be solved right now. And there's some problems that actually need to be solved maybe a year down the line, but you need actually more insight before you actually integrate it and implement it into your systems. This is business. You can't figure out what's best for your people without speaking to them and being involved in trying to apply what you believe based on what they've told you is the best way of implementing it. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, based on that and based on all of these people that I've spoken to, it sounds like they're kind of wired this way, so what we need to do is implement it in this way so that way they receive it correctly and it's much easier to implement. I'm not out here trying to create the entire financial sector of the country of Crusadia in my brain. I need to figure out where everyone wants to go and how they want to get there. So I ask questions. And then now I realize it's like we have guys that are very self-driven, but to actually be of value to other people, they just want to be helpful. They want to be a positive impact. So now I know the problem is I could say this for myself, dude, I've always been that way. But the problem is when you're not valuable yourself. So we have to build up people's value. We have to build up their high leverage skills that they can apply to different businesses. And then that way we can even have a bulletin of people being like, hey, you know, listen, I'm starting to make content. I'm struggling with CapCut. Do you guys know how to do X, Y, and Z? And then someone could just reach out to the person once he puts in the bulletin to help them out. Now it's all for one and one for all. Now people are actually helping out. You get what I'm saying? And then honestly, we can even have it into a gamification system to where and I'm divulging too much. Actually, I'm gonna pull back. But this is what it's like to wear your heart on your sleeve and just give everything. But coming back to the central point, all of this happened because I'm not trying to solve these problems ahead of time. So I actually solve the problems better once they're at the doorstep because now they're pressing. Tension is being built. Tension is required for growth, whether in the gym, for your mind, for your business, you need tension. And people are terrified of that tension happening and they're like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to handle it. You're just basically confirming to yourself that I'm not the type of guy that's going to be able to handle these problems as they happen. You have to have trust in yourself as a business owner. This is conviction over confidence. This is devotion over discipline. I get up and do the things I need to every single day because I'm devoted. And as a result of my devotion, I have found real conviction because I'm just not willing to let this fall. I will die trying. And And when you have that, you think it matters? If you actually have something in your head, and it's a huge difference. People talk this shit, but it's different than being actually about it. Where you lay your body and your health down on the line and you sacrifice your own well-being for the sake of the mission, your business, whatever it is, you will always make the right decision at the right time, because now you're cultivating instinct. You're building instinct. My alarm went off. Now I got to post content. Different ball game. Absolute baloney. But nonetheless, my point of bringing this all full circle is stop trying to get across and trying to get ahead of a catastrophe that has not occurred yet, man. This is a really, really stupid way to live life, truthfully, because you're actually becoming a lot less competitive because your boots aren't even on the ground. You're not even where your feet are at. You can't even think in the problems that are actually presented as they are in reality, because you're just living so far in the future, and then you're just trying to pull everything from the past versus just being present with the problem at hand. It's as simple as that. Have trust in yourself that you will figure it out as it comes, or at least you'll give everything you got to solve that problem. But I promise you, you're gonna do a much better job moving forward. You're gonna be dynamic. There is nothing that will be able to be put onto your plate and you thinking, I can't handle this. You have to put yourself in a position to trust yourself. And I'm telling you, I've seen so many people take literally decades long. I've been doing this for 2 years. And it's literally because I've had to learn the lesson the hard way all the previous years of stop trying to get ahead of catastrophes. When things happen, and when problems arise, you will solve them the way they're meant to be solved in that moment. And you don't shortcut that problem. You do it the fucking long, hard, strenuous way. And that way you don't have to do it twice. Anyways, I appreciate watching this video. Hope this is well worth your time. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really digging it. This is the real channel. This is the real channel now. The other one is still phase one. I feel like people just, you know, in the fitness world, they like fitness stuff, diet stuff. Give the people what they want. But this channel is legitimately for the real ones. For the real ones. The ones that, you know, like, there's more to this. I actually want to learn how to make money in a way that really no one can beat me at the game that I'm playing. And that's exactly what I'm here to teach. And I hate the word teach. Basically, that's what I'm here to share my perspective on. But if there's anything you guys want specifically, you drop it down in the comments. And if people like those comments, give those a thumbs up and they'll add and make a video on it. As always, y'all, I love you very much, no matter what channel you're coming from. I appreciate watching this. Crusadia, if you guys are interested in being involved, link is down below. Please join. If this has touched any part of you and you're like, hell yeah, join. It's $49 a month as of the time I'm recording this. It'll never be above 2 digits. I don't plan on anticipating it ever happening. $0 cancellation fee. You actually have nothing to lose, and that's why I did it. And those of you guys are like, man, I don't know, it sounds a little bit sketch or whatever. You'll know right when you get in there, like, holy shit, like, we are moving very differently from the population. And if that's you and you're the outlier in your life and you can just tell you're different inherently and you're special, you know, in some regards, I think everyone's special, but you recognize it truthfully and you feel it, please join. I love you guys. Anyways, Uncle Rommy out. Peace.